Hello NBA fans and YouTubers, my name is Wes Brown and I will be talking about today on November the 27th, Thanksgiving's Eve, about LeBron James' return to Cleveland. Every year in the NBA, ever since LeBron left Cleveland to go to Miami, people in articles write about LeBron speculating that he'll go back to Cleveland after his years in Miami are done. I don't believe he will. I'm a huge NBA fan. I'm actually a huge sports fan in general. I love talking about it, and I always find this interesting. I don't like LeBron. I have no respect for him. It's not because he went to Miami and ditched Cleveland, but I just don't like LeBron, period. I thought he was a worthless person in Cleveland, and so in Miami. I'm a Pacer fan, so we really don't like LeBron here, but in Indiana. But I just think that the whole talk about LeBron going back to Cleveland is still interesting. Tonight he is in Cleveland, like I said, and this is the year that he can opt out of his contract and either go to another team. A lot of people believe it'll be between the Miami Heat, where he already is, and with the Cleveland Cavaliers, go back to Miami. And go back to Cleveland. Excuse me, guys. To me, a lot of people may ask, if I hate LeBron, why am I talking about it? Well, why am I talking about it? I just think it's always interesting. I like to think about what ifs a lot. I'm a what if person. And about the whole LeBron situation, I think that when he left for Miami, I was shocked. I didn't think he'd actually go back to Cleveland. I thought he would go join like the New York Knicks. He put up 60, I believe, back about 5 years ago in New York in Madison Square Garden, and I thought he was bound for the New York Knicks. When he chose Miami, I looked at him and I was like, "Are you serious? He's going to team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and all these guys?" And I was thinking, man, you were picking an easy way out here. I don't believe in my eyes LeBron James is a champion. Look at the team he has. It's stacked, and even the third string players on that basketball team are starters or number one subs off a bench on any other NBA team. I think that LeBron ultimately will not go back to Cleveland. I think he will stay in Miami. And my question is, for people, why would they think he would go back to Cleveland? Think about how awkward that would be. Going back to a place that you're from, that you put into an organization, and it still wasn't good enough, so you just left, and you left those fans in Cleveland who looked up to you as basically the role model and the sports hero of their world, and you left them in disarray, and you hurt them. And now Cleveland is still in a totally dead situation. I know they have Kyrie Irving. Personally, I don't think Kyrie Irving will be anything in the NBA. I think he'll maybe be an all-star player about 3 or 4 times in his whole career, but I still don't believe that he will be anything big. I don't think he's worth the talk. I think that John Wall, Chris Paul, players like that are still better than him. I don't think he will actually be anything big in the NBA. But the question, the reason why I'm doing this again is just speculation. I read an article today in Bleacher Report, which is a very good website to go read articles on. For a big sports fan like myself, I was thinking, what if LeBron would have never left Cleveland? What would have happened? Would Dwayne, it could have had a domino effect. Would have Dwayne Wade went back to Miami? A lot of people say, well, how does that relate? How is that relevant? Well, at the beginning of free agency, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Joe Johnson, LeBron James, and I think a couple other free agents, maybe Darren Williams. I don't know if he was one of the ones that was in that free agent pool. I think Dirk Nowitzki was in that pool too, but we all knew Dirk was going to go back to Dallas. But a lot of those players went around and they all got in a room and they talked together about where they were going to go. Well, as we know, Joe Johnson went back to Atlanta, which is now with the Brooklyn Nets through a trade. But Dwayne was actually almost going to go to Chicago and play for the Bulls, but I think Pat Riley wanted him there. I mean, Dwayne Wade is the Miami Heat. That's just all there is to it. Even though LeBron's there and LeBron is the best player in the world and the best player on that team, it's still Dwayne Wade's team through and through. He's been there through all the championships and all the times, and he is the Miami Heat. We know that Chris Bosh joined Dwayne, and I personally believe too that was what kind of helped LeBron go, was wanting LeBron to join them. I believe that they already knew that they were going to be probably an unbeatable team, even though Miami lost to Dallas in the 2011 NBA Finals. But to say all this, I think that I think back to what would it be like if LeBron would have never left Cleveland. LeBron never leaving Cleveland I think that LeBron would still have no rings. I think they would have probably brought in a better role player, maybe like a LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge is a great player, don't get me wrong, guys, but they probably would have tried to move him in. Maybe they could have took a stab and tried to have gotten like Josh Smith from Atlanta. Maybe they could have gotten Jason Kidd before he went to Dallas. We never know. But or somebody like that who was still good, even though they were into their prime. But I ultimately think that LeBron being in Cleveland, if he was still there, it would have, the landscape of the NBA would be changed. I believe that, I believe a lot of things. I believe the Miami Heat are the reason for a lot of things in the NBA. I think the Lakers getting Dwight Howard, weirdly, I believe that was because of the Miami Heat, and going for the second championship and going ultimately for now this year a three-peat. I think that was a reason. And that obviously didn't work out for the Lakers. But I think that if LeBron would have never left Cleveland, Dwayne Wade would be there. Chris Bosh would probably be in Miami. This is from the superstar landscape. I think that, Dirk would still be in Dallas. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett would probably still be in Boston. Maybe even Chris Paul would still be in New Orleans. I believe a lot of those players would probably never come out and say anything against the Miami Heat, but they all knew that they were not going to stand a chance against the Miami Heat, so they kind of had to form their own super teams to try to compete with this team. And right now we're in the last year seeing LeBron in before he goes into his opt-out stage, where he could opt out and go back 1 year to Miami, or he could go to Cleveland, Brooklyn, anywhere. But I personally believe in my heart of hearts he'll stay in Miami and he'll be a Heat player for the rest of his career. I still believe that Chris Bosh will go somewhere else. I think he'll join like the Dallas Mavericks, or he may even go to Toronto and try to contend with those people up there in Toronto and try to reconcile with them maybe. I still think Dwayne Wade will be in Miami when it's all said and done. Again, he's the Heat organization. And I believe that LeBron may, when Dwayne Wade retires, that LeBron will take that team, maybe rebuild that team. Maybe they'll get draft players and build a team around LeBron and have maybe that way LeBron will now know how it is to win a championship without having amazing players on your team and have to deal with rookies and not so good players. But until then, I think it's interesting conversation about LeBron. What if he would have never left Cleveland? What would the NBA landscape be like? I could go on for another hour of talking about this, but I'm not going to, guys. But thank you all for your time. This is Wes Brown reporting. Thank you.